It's time for Talkin Tauntauns.
Star Wars discussion podcast, from reviews of the latest shows and books to breaking news and thoughtful interviews. Join us as we dive into all things from a galaxy far, far away.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Talkin Tauntauns. I am Jim Lahane, and joining me 2 episodes in a row, it's our favorite, Nicole H. Quinn.
Hello there.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. It's actually, I actually got 2 episodes in a row. I mean, listen, I'm not letting anybody else talk about Andor, is really what's happening here. No one's allowed. It's just me.
It's just you, not even me.
No.
I realized I didn't talk much the last episode, partially because I didn't feel well, partially because my headphones weren't working, so I could barely hear Nicole.
Which has never happened. No one ever could barely hear me. I am loud as you know what. So that's never happened before. So I just monologued for a good hour.
Nicole would ask me questions, and I would be like, I think I heard what you said. I'm not entirely sure. And then you asked me one question, and I'm like, I have no idea what you said, but I'll just kind of wing it.
Yeah. I will say there was never a moment where I was like, hey, is it raining outside? And you said purple, you know, like that didn't happen. So like, I think we're all right. I think it's okay.
I don't even know what question I would respond purple to in general.
Yeah, I mean, what's your favorite color? Purple.
Well, that's my wife's favorite color. Okay, there we go. What's your wife's favorite color?
What's your wife's favorite color? Purple.
Purple. How are you doing, Nicole?
I'm all right. It's Memorial Day weekend in New Jersey, which means everyone and their mother's here, and I will not be going anywhere near the beach this weekend. I won't be going near a body of water. I'm going in the opposite direction tomorrow night. And then other than that, I'm just kind of chilling and hiding. Because I live in a place where people go for vacation. And there's a lot of people who we here have a nickname for who come here for the summer. And
is that
they're
nickname,
usually from New York.
Do I gotta censor that nickname too?
No, it's not. It's not. I'm about to reveal a very niche part of New Jersey culture. Like it's not just New Jersey. It's literally just my little section of New Jersey. And we have a word that is the equivalent is shoobies, like in every other like beach town on the planet. It's shoobies. We call them bennies. And it stands for the places they come from typically, which is North Jersey and New York. So Benny stands for Bayonne, Elizabeth, Newark, New York. That's typically where they come from. Typically. But it's kind of anywhere in North Jersey, New York, anywhere that's not here. Anywhere that's not the Jersey, y'all call it the shore. I will never. The beach. Like, people are like, you don't say you're going down the shore? I'm like, no, I'm already there. I'm going to the beach. Well, what if you don't see the beach? What if you don't see water? You're just going to a beach town. I live in a beach town. Like, I'm just going to Asbury. Like, I'll just go to Asbury Park. Like, I'm not going to, no, I'm going to the beach. Like, drives me nuts. No one from here says, I'm going down the shore. It's disgusting. I hate hearing it. I don't like it. And that's why the show Jersey Shore was so offensive to us.
That's the reason.
We don't call it that.
That is the reason it's so offensive.
Yeah, I mean, people can live their lives. That's the thing. I'm of 2 minds about this whole situation. A, it brings a lot of commerce to my area and helps the local economy. So that is nice. That is good. We like that. And also, people are allowed to have a good time and enjoy themselves. That's great. I love that.
They're walking stereotypes.
Don't trash my beach. Don't trash my beach. Don't cause a ruckus. Don't treat my home like it's only for vacation and only for your enjoyment. I have to go to work on Tuesday, all right? And it's not that far. It's not that far from where y'all are vacationing for 3 months. I get angry. I get angry very easily. Because that's the problem here. So anyway, the Bennies are here. They're here. They've moved into their second vacation home that is vacant for 9 months of the year. They're here in the most expensive place to live in New Jersey, taking up entire homes. I get really mad. But anyway, as long as you're chill, I really like you're good. You're fine. But like they're here. So there's traffic and it's going to be hell to get out of my apartment complex for the next 3 months. So that's where I'm at. Things you didn't know you needed to know about.
I didn't know.
But yeah, there's a website called BennyGoHome.com. There's bumper stickers.
That sounds about right.
So if you've ever seen that and you just found out you're a Benny, evaluate yourself. That's all I say. Evaluate how you conduct yourself, and you might be doing great. You might be doing fine. But they're here. They're here, and they're being mean to my boyfriend at work, so.
Well, that's not cool.
We can spot them. Like, it's not just the accent that gives them away, it's the attitude. And the, them being very mean to service workers. Oh. And that's not exclusive to Benny's. That's not exclusive behavior, but it tends to just coincide. And if you're not like that, we don't even know you're a Benny. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm never mean to service workers. Like I go out of my way to. My wife has called it obnoxiously cheerful to service workers.
Oh yeah, I do the same thing.
She's like, same thing. Please stop that. I can't handle it right now. Yeah. I mean, listen, I overcompensate. I do the same thing, but no, they're very, very mean for no reason. Like for no reason. It's like, and I had to deal with it when I was working in retail last summer. Mm-hmm. You knew the second they walked in the door, like, oh, here we go. Like, it's just a way they carry themselves. And then you get the accent and you're like, yeah, this person doesn't live here all year. And then they'll tell you. Then they'll straight be like, oh, I left this at home and, I need to replace everything for the summer and this, that. And I'm like, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do, ma'am. And then they buy the most expensive stuff in the store. And you're like, this is good for us. This is very good for us. Just be nice. And some of the time they were. And that's fine. I'm good with you. You're fine. But it's happening. It's bedding season. So if I complain for the next 2.5 months, that's why. That's probably why. How are you, sir? How are you doing this Memorial Day weekend? I am sick and tired of the rain.
Yes, same. It finally broke here.
It has been, I think we've had 2 days where we haven't had rain since March.
That's a shame.
We've been able to mow the lawn once.
Oh, no.
See,
that's not good.
Yeah, well, it's terrible. It's raining now. It's like, and from the what sucks. I've been reading, this is that impact of climate change. And theoretically, this is our future. And I'm like, I don't want it to rain every single day. I didn't know this is what I signed up for when I was burning all my fossil fuels.
Same. Same. Like there was a really good video of a gentleman on Instagram. I could find his name, except my phone's downstairs. Seems like a fun dude. Clearly from like Massachusetts, like the Boston area, likely-ish, greater Boston area. And he's just yelling in his car about the weather. And it's really funny. Dude's like, from the bottom of my heart, what the F is going on with this weather? Like, it's just, I can't do a very good Boston accent, but it was just so
That wasn't bad.
funny.
As someone not from Boston, I approve.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who listens to us who's from that area is going to be like, stop talking. But like,
Please don't do that again.
He's like, I'm wearing pants. It's supposed to be shorts. It's me. I'm just laughing my ass off because I'm like, same, dude. He's like, it's 40 degrees. It's raining. Like, I need someone to blame. I was like, same. I also need someone to blame for this, bro. Like, it's just really good. This is really fun. I was like, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. He's like, it went, in the comments, he's like, it went from 70 to 40 like it saw a trooper in the left lane. And I loved that so much. Degrees, y'all. It was degrees because it was the same thing that happened here. Boston's a little north of us, but like they have a similar weather pattern usually. I don't know where the heck you are that you just get a completely different weather pattern than I do. And yet we're a state away from you. There's one state line in between us, and here we are. But yeah, Boston tends to have a similar weather pattern. They're just like a few degrees cooler than us, typically. So yeah, same. It went from a nice 70. It was beautiful. Like Mother's Day was gorgeous. 70, sunny, gorgeous. And then the last few days, 50 and raining. Just dropped. And I'm like, this is disgusting. It's finally warming up. But I can't imagine having that long a period of rain. That sucks.
It is currently 45 and raining.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. No. What is it here? Let me look. I gotta pull up the other computer for this. Weather. Where is it? 59. It's 59. It's going up to 62 today. That's it. Partly cloudy.
Yeah, I don't know why you're in a different weather
all
system.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's going to be like 60 all weekend, which I'm thrilled about. But like I said, our friends visiting will not be happy about it. They'll be on the beach like covered in like sweaters. It's going to be crazy. Anyway.
All right. But are we ready to talk some Star Wars?
Yeah, all the joy for the episode is gone. If you considered any of the last 10 to 15 minutes joyful, I don't know. But that's the happiest we're going to get. Go ahead, Jim. Let's do it.
Suddenly the rebellion is real for you. Some of us live it. I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. You're not the only one who lost everything. Some of us just decided to do something about it.
If I say this is the greatest day of my life, would that ruin everything?
Is that the line you texted me about?
I laughed so hard with this deadpan of this is the happiest day of my life. I'm like, that is hysterical.
This boy.
I am happy. Her response, I had it pulled up. Her response is like, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, genuinely. Their relationship. Can we talk about Dedra and Cyril's relationship? This might be the most joyful we get. This might be it.
Hold on. I want to go
confuses and confounds me. Go ahead.
I want to go over what we're actually covering.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
I want to start with that because that line I loved. So we're covering what we're going to call 3 BBY because that is just the easiest way to refer to these episodes, encompassing.
They labeled it. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. They labeled it BBY 3.
Yes, and
they do it the other way around.
I was wondering if they did that with the 4, but I don't remember.
Have we gotten it wrong the entire time? Is it BBY 3 and BBY 10?
Yeah, it was BBY, definitely BBY 3 on this one. I did notice that, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's weird. I'm still going to call it 3 BBY, but
that's what makes sense to me, but
yeah,
whatever.
Before the Battle of Yavin 3 doesn't, it's just weird.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, go ahead.
Yep,
So we're at BBY3.
BBY3. We're covering episodes 4 through 6 of season 2. Episode 4, Ever Been to Ghormon? 5, I Have Friends Everywhere. And 6, What a Festive Evening.
What fun.
What fun. All right. Now go in on your...
Dedra and Cyril make no sense to me. But these are two people who are a little potentially spicy, if you know what I mean. Potentially neurospicy. I don't know.
They are on the spectrum, definitely.
Right? Because I found that as a more neurotypical person, they confound me. Like, confound me. Like, the way they speak to each other, the way they interact with each other, confuses me. And potentially, maybe they're supposed to be ace in some way. Like, I'm not sure. Like, it's or like aromantic, or I wouldn't know how to classify it.
I think the turn out the lights scene was their romance.
And that's why I'm like, really? Like, it's so, and again, like, I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm like, is that what's going on? I don't know what the intention is. And I don't know how it's being perceived by those communities I just mentioned. I have no idea. But I'm just wildly speculating that there's something. Because, yeah, there's no other way I can, as someone who is not in those categories, look at that scene and be like, they're doing anything other than getting frisky. Like, there is nothing else that could imply in my life and my experience. I could be the most wrong. Like, and it's so rigid. It's so, like, we've never seen them kiss on the mouth.
No, this was the first time I think that we even got a kiss, and it was on the cheek.
Yes. Nothing. There's nothing.
There's been no indication that they're in a relationship.
Meanwhile, in another episode, Cassian and Bix are going at it.
I wasn't even talking about them. I was thinking Val.
Oh, also Val and Cinta.
Yeah.
It's an interesting dichotomy, regardless of what the individual characters are like, right? We see two rebellion couples in the throes of passion, like in this very traditionally sexually charged romantic relationship. And then you have the Empire couple, who is it's so like representative of those two ways of thought and those two like lives. It's very interesting that you have this very rigid, very sterile almost relationship.
Yes.
As we're seeing it now, versus like the making out like tomorrow doesn't exist and for one of them it doesn't. Like it's interesting. I just find it very, yes, I went there immediately. I definitely want to talk about that because holy depressing. But so well done. I can't even. Yeah, they confound me. They confuse me. And I still think Cyril's a creep.
Well, I think
I'm going to die on that hill.
Having seen these actors kind of give interviews and stuff, they're really good at acting. Like the
oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Like Kyle Soller is who plays Cyril. And he's a normal person. Like watching him like interact and like on this, like, you're like, oh my God, I would never want to even interact with this person. He seems like the worst, literally the worst.
No, bad. Yeah, they're delightful. Like I've seen little clips of interviews. I haven't watched a lot because I'm like, I don't want to know anything until after I finish watching the show.
Yeah, that's it.
They're very funny. Like they're dope people. It's interesting to see that dichotomy. Again, I don't know if they're meant to be. I would have to talk to people in the neurodivergent community to fully understand whether they're perceiving Cyril and Dedra as neurodivergent. That's my suspicion. But as someone who's not in that camp, I don't know.
It's definitely. I thought it was a marriage of convenience at first. If it's even a marriage, are they? I don't even know if they're married. Or
no, I don't think they are.
Relationship of convenience, I guess, would be better.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they get out of it. Like, what conveniences are they getting? It's just weird. It is like the weirdest relationship like I've ever seen on TV. Like I just don't understand it.
It's definitely not typical of what we've seen. I want to be careful. Just because, like, there could absolutely be very happy, fulfilling relationships in that community that are like that. I have no idea. It's just not my experience and not in my circle.
I guess I want to call out. It's like they just don't seem. They don't seem happy with each other.
They don't seem happy, but we've only seen probably collectively an hour of them together. So, like, I don't know. Like, I just don't. I need more information. Like, need more data. You know, but they don't seem traditionally.
This coming from the person
happy.
who said, "If I never see another minute of their relationship, I will be happy." From the last episode.
That's true. That's fully true. That's fully true. But I've picked up on those things a little bit more in this this arc. That I'm like, oh, maybe I'm reading them completely wrong. I still hate the origin of this relationship. I think it is incredibly problematic that it's like this dude just sees her and is like pining and like obsessive immediately. It's still not chill. However, I'm picking up on other things going on now that I'm like, oh, maybe they're okay. Like, maybe she's happy. I don't know. Like, I don't know. But they don't seem it. And I need more data to determine whether they are or not. But, yeah, I don't enjoy it. I certainly don't enjoy watching this creepazoid getting what he wanted. And also, just his entire character being this scummy, freaking two-timing, like, sad excuse for a friggin' spy. Just absolutely pathetic. I hate him. I hate this squirrely, weaselly son of a gun. I don't like him. He's not good at what he's doing. Somehow it's affected. He is stumbling through success as the Empire tends to do. Like, gross. It's gross. I hate it.
So I want to call out, I have not watched anything beyond these episodes. I don't think you've watched anything beyond these episodes, so we don't know. They are all released at this point, obviously, as we are recording. But I haven't had much spoiled for me either. Definitely nothing from these episodes spoiled. I think a little bit later stuff I might have had spoiled, but I don't, since I don't know. I don't know. I've been trying to avoid it. So we're going into this as if nothing else has come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, this thing with Cyril infiltrating is interesting because I don't know if we've ever really gotten the point of view of Imperial infiltrators. We've gotten definitely rebel infiltrators into the Empire, where we have Lonnie, major character. He's even more of a major character now than he ever was in season 1, especially this arc. I did enjoy Lonnie's role in the episode 6, where he's like, "Why am I standing here? Move over to the left." No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, you are.
Yeah, him being like, do you know who the heck is in that room? Do you know? What is it? Is his name Ben Mendelsohn? Ben Mendelsohn is in this room? Do you have any idea?
I was gonna say Cassian Andor, but that's not Krennic.
Yeah, Krennic. Yeah, he's a delight to watch. He's such a good villain.
He chews the scenery so well that he's like, this is my role. I will take it.
You feel the air leave the room. The tension is so thick you can cut it with a knife. You feel the weight of his presence through the screen. He's incredible. He's so good. I need to triple, quadruple check this actor's name because he's another one that like I just keep getting it wrong, and I don't want to do that. But I'm pretty sure I'm right.
And Krennic, Ben Mendelsohn, has been in only I think 2 scenes so far in this season. And he's been great in both of like he's one of those like, yeah, you kind of deserve the accolades that you get because like these are like some of the best scenes so far in the season are the ones that he's in.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal actor. Like he is through the roof good at what he does. In everything I've ever seen him in, he is impressive. He's great. And just seeing him every time, it's like, it's a delightful surprise, but it's also like, my heart sinks because I'm like, oh no, like something terrible is going to happen. Because he is terrible. Krennic is terrible. Bad guy.
He fits in so well. It's not like Vader. Vader enters a room and you're utter dread because you know something bad's going to happen. Krennic enters a room and it's like you have this bad feeling, but you also kind of want to see where it goes.
Yeah, a little bit. He's it's like you're walking a tightrope with Krennic. Like Vader, you've already fallen. You've already taken a tumble. Krennic, you've got a shot. Mm-hmm. That wire is shaking and you better stay on it, but with Vader, you're already in free fall. But it's a similar like threat. Like his presence is a threat. And I appreciate that. To talk a little bit about the rebel side of what is going on in these 3 episodes. Because I think that is necessary. And then I want to talk about Ghormon, like in general, because that's kind of where that's more or less the entire arc.
Season, it seems like almost our season is moving towards focusing on Ghormon. As like it is major. You're right. Majorly part of this arc is Ghormon.
We know what they're working towards on Ghormon, right? Like
who is they working towards?
You and me. We know what they're working towards on Ghormon, right?
I think that's what Dedra was hinting at when she's like Cyril, or when I can't remember the director's name. He's like Cyril can't know what we're working towards.
Yep.
Is that like I assume the massacre is like what they're working towards?
I have a different theory.
Okay.
I think they're building the Death Star.
You think?
I think they're starting to build the Death Star.
They've already started to build because remember, we've seen it in episode 3.
Yes, but I think that the resources they are getting from Ghormon will be integral, like essential to building the actual mechanics of the Death Star. They're building a structure, but I mean the gun. I mean the thing, the cannon that kills everything. I think they're mining stuff from Ghormon that will be essential to the operation of the Death Star. Because otherwise, what are we doing? We are, as a story, barreling towards Yavin, which will eventually be the destruction of the Death Star, right? We get the plans in the Battle of Yavin that destroy the Death Star, right? That is what we are working towards. That is what Andor's end is, to destroy the Death Star. That is what this character's entire purpose is. Mm-hmm. Why are we on Ghormon? Story-wise, why are we there if it is not integral. We are close. We are close to everyone finding out what this weapon is. We are getting to the point where everyone's got to go, this thing's got to be destroyed or else entire planets will crumble. We are getting to that point where we know what the threat is. Because at this point in time, our characters don't know what the threat is. They cannot even conceive of what the Death Star is. We are so close to the point where they must find out. That I think what they're mining on Ghormon, what they're getting from Ghormon, is the thing that's going to be like, what are they using this for? There's only one purpose: to power a ridiculously powerful weapon. I think those are the threads we are following right now. Otherwise, it's another project that ends up not mattering. Do you know what I'm saying? There's not enough time.
I think you're completely wrong.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Okay.
Based on literally, as you're going in, my brain just went, oh, tauntaun noise. All of the various spoiler, kind of not really spoiler comments I've been seeing online all kind of coalesced into Nicole's right. This is exactly what's happening.
Hey, bring a writer onto your show. There's just not time for it to be anything else.
No, you're right. And it makes sense from a writer's perspective, because why else? Because really, even if you ignore episode 4, where are we going with Rogue One? With Rogue One, the whole point is the Death Star. So this series, theoretically, yes, Cassian is our focus, kind of. But he's not really our focus. He's kind of being pulled along these threads in this storyline. And I think you're right. I think it's the Death Star, because that's where everything seems to be pointing us. And again, I'll remind the listeners, we have not seen the rest of this season. So
correct. I have no idea.
So if we are, I feel like we're not off. I feel like you're not off base.
Thank you. Because timeline wise, Krennic is definitely working on the Death Star right now.
100%.
And that would be the only thing he's working on. That would absolutely be the secret project. Because if you're thinking from the Empire's perspective, you don't want there to be enough time for your people to go, we're doing what? We're building a what? We're building a thing that's going to do what? You need to justify the destruction of a planet first, right? So the fact that what they're mining from Ghormon will make the planet unstable, and probably make it implode and collapse upon itself.
Is that where you're going? Implode and unstable into what? Implode.
Whatever.
Unstable.
What? Yes, exactly. That's what happened.
The planet will unplode.
Words. The planet will go boom, is what I'm saying. The planet will be no more. So you already have to sell, hey, the ends of destroying a planet justify, the means of that justify the ends of the Empire staying in power. You need to have that become acceptable to your people before you go, we're going to blow up more. We're going to blow up all the planets. We're going to just completely decimate a population. You need to justify one first before they find out that you're building a weapon with that only purpose. That is its only purpose. So that is why this project is a secret.
Yeah. And I think
there's no other ends that they're working towards in my mind than Death Star.
Yeah. I think I 100% agree with you. And I think that getting Cyril's mom's perspective, yes, she is an atrocious character, but her perspective on this has been fascinating because you're seeing the propaganda work through her. Every time she's talking, she's like, why are you on Ghormon? Things sound so terrible. And he's like, things are fine here. What are you talking about? And it's fascinating. It's because we had the meeting with the propagandists before from the previous arc. And and it you could see that thread carrying through to this arc along with our main crux of Ghormon, which is the whole reason that Cyril's there, carrying through from the previous arc. And it's like, are these the most bombastic episodes of the series? No, not in any way whatsoever. But it's a fascinating like part of this, like the whole.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so interesting because that thing doesn't just end up in the sky. You know what I mean? So it takes years,
Decades.
to like definitely. This thing has been in production for a long time. And they are just riding that edge of like, we can't tell them yet because they're not ready. Like, we will cause chaos and just, bolster the rebels and like verify their way of looking at things. If we just say we're making a killing machine, we need it to be justified. So that is a long, long process. And so that's why I think, even though Alderaan was the first actual target of the Death Star, I think the first casualty of the Death Star is going to be Ghormon.
Well, Jedha was the first target of the Death Star.
You're right. But
Alderaan's the first.
Yes.
Like full-powered target.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah. Yes. But before both of those, it's going to be Ghormon. That is going to be the first casualty of the Death Star is Ghormon. Is my thinking.
I want, going along with our conversation a couple months ago, I think, where what do we want? I want a scene where we have the propagandists in the room, and I get the like Krennic and stuff going, like, okay, what are we going to call this machine of yours? Krennic's like, I was thinking Death Star, and the propagandists are going, yeah, that's a terrible idea.
It's a bad idea.
Can we workshop something like that doesn't sound so ominous? Like,
yeah. No, they can't. They can't. It's just interesting. The whole thing is like, yeah, we're barreling towards that reality, and it's terrifying. It adds this like that year card at the front of these episodes is a countdown clock.
Yes.
We all know that. But like it feels like it's a countdown clock for more than just Yavin. It's a countdown clock for Alderaan.
It's also a countdown clock for the characters in this story. Is like,
oh yes,
slowly,
absolutely.
Like as the clock counts down, you're losing a character or many, like along this
many.
tick.
Yes. But it's, I was going to say that countdown clock for Alderaan is even more front of my mind because we saw Bail Organa.
Did we?
We saw what's meant to be and supposed to be Bail Organa. Question mark.
Are we going to talk about the recasting of not Jimmy
Bail
Smits?
Organa ordered from Wish.
What is that? The
this
Tubi
is
or the not Tubi?
Timu. This is Walmart brand bargain bin Bail Organa. I am not saying any words about the actor. I think he's fine. Like it's just, that's not Bail Organa. Like, wait a minute. That's not our boy who's been Bail Organa forever. I guess he wasn't available. I have no idea what happened.
Brad.
But I'm sure he's a lovely guy. I know nothing about him. I cannot disparage him. I don't want to disparage him. I don't need to. I think he did a fine job. But that's not Bail Organa. And I was like, what? But anyway, seeing Bail Organa is just a reminder that we are counting down to the destruction of entire planets. Several, probably. Definitely Ghormon. We know Ghormon's not going to make it. There's pretty much no way Ghormon makes it through this, which is very sad because these people seem scrappy.
So based on my knowledge of Rebels, I don't remember like
Mm-mm.
exactly which episode where in the season, but I think the next arc should be our culmination of where Mon Mothma jumps ship.
Ooh, I'm
So
so excited.
so it may not be the culmination of Ghormon, but it's where Mon Mothma jumps ship. So it's that's my
Cool.
guess. I haven't delved into it because I don't want to know.
Yeah. She's close. She is losing all faith in the system very clearly. So to jump to the rebels and their side and everything that's going on over there, there's a lot. There's a lot of moving parts going on right now. But yeah, Mon is trying really hard to fight the Empire in the proper channels. Let's say it that way. And it's not going well. And even the representative from Ghormon won't help her. Like, she's losing everything and she's exhausted. So she goes to a party. And how difficult is that? And hasn't seen her kid in a really long time. By the way,
Did we? Did she even see her kid in the episode? Like, I know they were
No.
talking about it, but yeah, okay. I'm like, I don't even think the kid showed
Nope.
up.
you know, the kid that is not Vel's sister.
That's I was listening to the episode.
My brain was so goofed last time we spoke. I know Vel is her cousin. I know that. I don't know what the hell was going on in my peanut brain.
I was listening to the episode. I'm like, I definitely did not hear that part where you said Vel was. What was her other sister? I'm like, wait, where are we going with this? Because I don't remember even you bringing this up. That was the part I.
It's Vel. I'm talking about Vel.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't her sister.
No, sure wasn't. So that's fun. Anyway, so Mon is very clearly losing faith in the system, and that's interesting. She seems okay with Perrin. Her and Perrin seem all right. Interesting.
They again, marriage of convenience, I think.
I think they might have once cared for each other.
It's definitely
sure.
an arranged
really don't know.
marriage. It's an arranged marriage, and
Yeah.
based on the book that I read, they go in and out of I don't know if it's love for each other, but they go in and out of like feelings for each other, I guess. And so it's definitely an interesting marriage because
It is.
it's fascinating to watch because again you're from the outside and it's a different type of relationship from the general norm.
Totally. So while that's all going on, Cassian and Bix are probably the most like a couple I've ever seen. But Bix is
She's
going
circling around that
through
toilet
it.
train like she's going down.
I feel it's heartbreaking. It's genuinely heartbreaking to watch such a badass like feel the effects of all the trauma that she has gone through. Because it's like we were saying last episode, trauma after trauma after trauma for this woman. It is like, what else can we throw at Bix? What can we do to this poor lady? Like, let's just keep going. And now we have addiction. Obviously. Very upsetting. Very sad. And yeah, that line of it's worse when we stop something to that effect. Like
It was
it's
the
when
dreams.
we pause.
The dreams come back worse when you stop it.
That's not what I'm talking about. You're right. But Cassian and Bix talking about like it's worse when we're in the safe. Like it's worse when we stop. When we're out and we're doing stuff and like it's better. And then we stop.
When you have time
and it
to
all
think.
catches up. Like something to that effect. So true. So real with like any trauma in my experience, any mental health issues. Like if you sometimes like I've had that experience where it's like if you're just going and you have to do things and you're going through the motions and you're getting all these things, it's when you pause and you're just alone with your thoughts that it's like, oh yeah, then it just smacks you in the face. So real in a way that I'm sure a lot of people related to. But yeah, of course, then we see the natural progression of Bix then leaning on substances.
Mm-hmm.
And how that works, and it makes total sense. And I think the way that they're showing a certain kind of substance abuse and the things that can lead a person there are I think an effective way of destigmatizing those things.
It feels honest.
It feels very honest, and it feels like a natural progression. And I think they're doing a very carefully thought out job of addressing a single experience of trauma and the pipeline to addiction that can exist, whether it's doctor prescribed medication or otherwise.
Self-prescribed medication.
Yeah. I think that that's a very natural evolution for her character, unfortunately. But I appreciated it and thought it was very carefully done in my limited experience and opinion.
It was definitely like heartbreaking, but understandable.
Yeah.
It's like one of those like,
Mm-hmm.
and the way they did it by constantly showing you her dreams and her hallucinations, really. It wasn't even just dreams, because she's like awake a lot of times, and it's like augmented reality almost. And it's like, yeah, no, yeah, me too. I would, if I was in your boots, I would be doing this also, try to get rid of that, because that's terrifying and frightening all at once. And where it leads, it was one of those like, yeah, get them. Where she like,
yes,
where both of them. I was hoping Cassian would be there. When she was taking out the doctor, it was entirely her, and I'm like, but Cassian needs to be a part of this somewhere. And then when she leaves, he's outside, and he blows up the building, and it's like, okay, like she took control of it, but he was there helping her, which is exactly how I would have wanted it, and it's what happened.
Yeah, it's clearly her mission. He's running support, which I think is great. I thought that was handled very well and very satisfying, because they keep talking about Dr. Gorsh. Gorsh?
I don't know.
Gorsht.
I feel like that's
that guy.
That's a dinner I used to eat when I was a kid.
That's borscht. Yes. Yeah, so I thought that them talking about him expanding his program, I was like, oh, absolutely not. So it makes sense that he'd be a target beyond just Bix's own revenge. And I thought it was great that Luthen was like, yeah, go get him. Go get him. Now he's a problem. Go get him. Like,
was he?
He's a wider
I
problem.
didn't catch that Luthen was a part of that as well.
So what I understood is when the thing blinks, when that beacon blinks, Luthen has a mission for them.
Yes, that's 100%. Yeah.
So it was blinking, and then the next thing was them destroying that building. So if you connect those dots, Luthen sent them to go blow up that building.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
What I got.
That makes sense. I didn't connect the two together. Because
it's not as obvious, but that's what I got from it. And it makes sense because we never saw him get that intelligence, I don't think.
No.
But there was conversations about them expanding Gorsh's program. So
Okay.
Those are the dots that I connected.
And Luthen and Andor having the conversation of, we need to fix this, and not in the negative connotations of fix this. Like we need Bix to get better. And
this is how you get
and this
at
is,
least
I
start
think
to
this is how by solving the trauma source, because at least theoretically she won't be trying to kill the doctor in her dreams if she's already done it in real life. I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah.
But
he can't hurt her anymore if he's dead.
And he's
no longer
he's dead.
The threat. She did it. It doesn't eliminate it, but I do think it gives, I don't know, but I do think to me, it would help that that's no longer a thing you have to watch over your shoulder for. It doesn't eliminate the trauma of the past at all, but it can give you some satisfaction of like, yes, that happened to me and that will haunt me forever and that is terrible, but at least he's dead.
Do you know what the rebellion
There's a but
needs?
at least.
You know what the rebellion needs? Therapists.
You're darn right. I think to pivot completely, Saw Gerrera needs a therapist.
Speaking of therapists.
Holy crap. That little subsection was...
You know the cliches where they go, yeah, the first hit's free. That was the entire arc of this with Saw. The first hit's free, kid. And now you're trapped.
That was madness. As soon as Saw was talking to the two of them, like the I forget the boy, I keep calling him because that's what Saw called him. The kid's name.
Willman?
Who was in the first arc.
Willman. Yeah, Will.
Willman.
I didn't even recognize him at first. I'm like, is that the same guy? They did something with his weird with his makeup that he looked differently.
It's been a year. So, he's not in a nice on a farm anymore. He's clearly been going through some stuff. He and the guy who was training. The other
I don't remember his name.
Who ended up being a spy. Whatever.
We don't care about him.
As soon as Saw stopped them and was like talking to them, was like, "Is he ready?" I was like, "Boy's dead." Not the boy, not Will, the other one. I was like, "This dude is dead." This is a classic Saw move to be like, "I'm gonna point over there, like I'm gonna point the gun at you, but I'm gonna shoot the other guy." Like he's not gonna see it coming. Like I knew it, and then we get a ridiculously interesting monologue from Saw Gerrera about Andor.
Mm-hmm.
That was unexpected. And he mentions his sister. And I'm just like,
Stila.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack in that monologue.
There's a lot to unpack the whole arc. When the spy was talking about with Saw, he's like, I just need to know this. What are we hitting? Just so I know which one to focus on. I can't remember all these intricacies, but if I just focused on one, I'm like, right, really, dude? Like, yes, it's difficult, but you need to only focus on one. Whereas, like, I can do like there's something fishy going on here. And that's why when Saul killed him, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like that conversation, I was fishy too.
Yeah. It was that was stressful. It was just stressful. I guess we should talk about Andor himself, though, for maybe 5 seconds. He does not seem to be the most important person in this entire show, but that's fine. It ends up being the things that create the guy in Rogue One, so it's fine. I'm not mad that he's not the center of the show, but he goes to Ghormon. His main objective in this whole arc is taking care of Bix. It's very obvious. So he kind of half-asses this entire mission he's on Ghormon. He's like, y'all aren't ready. Y'all are babies. I'm out.
My second favorite line so far in this series, I was very pretty.
That was good. It was cute. That was very cute. It is absolutely something you would say to your partner to like make them laugh, Like, oh, I was so... You should have seen me. You should have seen me.
I was very...
You should have seen the silks. It was something to behold. You know what I mean? Like, it's just cute. Like, I loved their banter. I really did. But he's a very interesting spy. His little, like,
his dressing down of them was warranted and interesting.
Mhm.
Like the first meeting, he's like, "What are you doing?" Like
Yeah.
I could have been anybody.
You don't know who I am. I could have what is wrong with you? Like, what are you talking about? And then they start using the that, are you visiting friends? Why do you ask? I'm curious by nature. I have friends everywhere. Like that thing.
The code
like
phrases.
that little code.
Yeah.
Yeah, that then you see them using that and I'm like, cool. But they are woof.
A mess.
Um,
I did like how
They're a mess, and he's right.
between the time when Andor arrived and the time when Vel arrived, you could tell they changed their strategy, that they were much more covert. They're like, okay, they actually took the lessons to heart and were doing a lot better job with Vel.
Yes, but not enough. I
Yes,
mean, no
but-
one was experienced. No one was experienced enough to realize that they were being set up.
Yeah, no.
No one's picked up on that, which just makes me angry because Cyril is successful, and that makes me angry. But he has to be, and it's like, oh, the entire existence of the Death Star is supported by this schmuck who's just failing upwards. And it's like, oh, how realistic is that?
He's just trapped on a building. I can't leave. Like, you're the biggest moron.
I can't stand him. Anyway, so Cassian is right. He goes to Ghormon.
100%.
He reads them, and is out. And then Luthen's pissed because he's like, you're supposed to make them better, which I understand. But, like, he was right. And if they left it, Cinta would be alive. And they didn't leave it because they can't leave it because they need a rebellion that is bigger than just like 10 people. So they need to continuously expand because we saw in the first arc how completely goofed and unorganized this rebellion can be.
Mm-hmm.
All the infighting and everything. So it's like, okay, well, we're going to teach them. We're not just going to like abandon them. We're going to go in to places that actually have a hope of like having some organization because there is a reputable figurehead here, and we're going to teach them. We're going to get them up to speed. We're going to make them better. That is admirable and necessary.
And if these people
and then
actually,
Cinta gets shot.
Yeah, if they actually listened to their teachers, that would not have happened because he was not even supposed to have a gun on him by the rules
he's not supposed to have a
laid
blaster.
out.
Mm-hmm. He's not supposed to have a blaster. Like, and it's, of course, as soon as the blaster went off, I was like, well, Cinta's dead.
I didn't even think about it. I just thought it
Yeah.
like the blaster went off and some bad things would happen, and then because I didn't even put two and two together until you see Cinta on the ground, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I like Cinta.
Yeah.
I liked their
I was
relationship.
like, this little idiot. I did too. I'm so happy they at least reconciled, but it was devastating. It is absolutely devastating that stupidity, and that's what, like, it's so realistic, right? Like, you're at war, like, no one's safe at any moment, and it was just, and for nothing, because again, it was a setup.
It was, yeah. That's
all
I
set
think the hardest thing is that all of Ghormon, it's all a setup, and so we know it's a setup, and it's like.
Mm-hmm.
You're losing like the Empire's winning and you don't even know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a deflating note to leave on, but it's yep. Like that's how they left us with this arc. Well, not really. They left us with Luthen and what's her name?
I looked
the
her
assistant.
up. Leah? The assistant?
Leah.
Is it Leah? It's with a K.
Effect.
It's spelled Kleya. Kleya, maybe?
Kleya.
I don't remember
Kleya?
them ever saying it. I think it's close to Leia. So I think it's Kleya.
It could be that. I think Luthen says it like once or twice. But
That was fascinating.
we have
too.
them
like
successfully getting that listening device out.
I'm
It's interesting to see how close the Empire, the rebels can come to losing everything. They come so close so many times, and it's like against all odds, this thing didn't fall apart.
I'm just curious if because her hand is all bloody trying to take that thing off when they zoom in on her hand. You can see there's blood dripping down her hand, but it never drips on the ground. I was wondering if that would come back. If it did drip on the ground, but I don't think if we're jumping another year, I don't think that would be something like a maid like finds blood underneath it. That's weird, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it could be anything. You had a party, you know what I mean? Like, I think a rich person would just be like, "The heck," and then move on, you know. But whatever, it's interesting.
Hold it and don't move it. Like I mean. Yeah. And then the conversation,
that was a stressful
she's
scene.
like, where Krennic's like, "Oh, I hear this is your favorite thing. Why is that?" And she just looks at Lonnie like, "Talk, you moron. Like, repeat what I told you."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. That was really well done. And it's interesting. You kind of have a successful mission, another successful mission because you have Cassian and Bix, and then a not so successful mission. Back to back to back.
But it was successful, other than Cinta being killed. Theoretically, that would be considered a success on their part.
To them, yes, but it's not because they're being played.
Yes,
so
exactly.
In the grander scheme, it's not the success at all. It's a mortal failure, but they don't know that yet. So it's interesting, but yeah, that little moment between Luthen and Clea or whatever her name is, leaving the party and just like kind of being a little happy,
and she just kind of like tosses the thing to him. She's like, "Here."
Yeah. After like, get this away from me.
After their fight over it was fascinating. I feel like that whole relationship, we didn't bring it up, but it is almost like she's in charge. Like Luthen almost, seems like he's coming, like seems like he's falling apart while she is like slowly shouldering more and more of this rebellion on her. I don't know if it's on herself or someone else, but it seems like she is slowly becoming higher while he's getting lower in like the responsibility.
It's an interesting version of succession planning. You know? It's interesting. But yeah.
So
she's good. I do want to say really quick before we leave.
Yeah, I have one more thing I wanted to bring up too.
You go first.
I really appreciated the Hunger Games kind of homage almost. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The crazy thing is, I just read Sunrise on the Reaping and just finished it yesterday.
Okay.
And then watched the episodes, and I didn't somehow pick up on it. Explain it to me. It felt Hunger Games at points, but I was like, this might just be because I've got it on the brain. But go ahead.
When Bix was getting high, she had on the TV this overly pomp TV show that is exactly
very capital.
Yes, exactly what the Hunger Games did, where it tried to distract from the horrors that are your everyday life. You have these overly bombastic TV shows, and that's exactly what they had here. Where
it is interesting. I did pick up on that. I just forgot about it. But yes, absolutely. It was very like Caesar Flickerman.
Exactly.
And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was like, it's an interesting thing to borrow. But yeah, I mean, it was good. That was good.
All right. What was the last thing you wanted to bring up?
I just watched an older, it's not old, but it's a few years old TV show on HBO called Chernobyl.
Oh, we watched that a couple years ago. Yeah.
So good. What you might not realize is that not only is Stellan Skarsgård Luthen in Chernobyl, so is the actor who plays Lonnie.
Oh, is he?
And that is so funny to me. And it just makes me think, if you want another show, I mean, so I just read Sunrise on the Reaping, and the Hunger Games talk a lot about propaganda. The show talks a lot about propaganda, and they are both talking about very current things in our lives right now. If you want another show, another piece of media that delves into those types of topics, Chernobyl is phenomenal, and you'll see a couple very familiar faces from Andor. So if you want another hyper-political but realistic and poignant show, Chernobyl was absolutely unbelievable. 6 episodes, you're in, you're out. It's great.
That's we
And you'll learn something because it's one of the more accurate television shows.
It's very good.
It's pretty good.
That's it. We started watching Dune last night.
Oh gosh,
and
yeah.
We haven't seen it, and all of a sudden, like the voice starts talking, and I'm like, why do I recognize that voice? The Baron Harkonnen. I looked it up. I'm like, oh, it's Stellan Skarsgård. Like I literally have been watching him like in my show yesterday. like that's why.
Yeah. Stellan is everywhere. If you look for him, he's everywhere. He's so good. He's so good.
It's such a distinctive voice.
He and his sons. So good. He and his sons are treasures. International treasures, in my opinion.
So, all right. I think that's pretty good for me. We actually talked a lot more than I thought we would talk about.
It's a lot. There's a lot. There's so much going on. I will say, for posterity, I like this arc better than the first one.
You did? Okay. I thought
by a mile.
I thought
by a mile.
I thought you weren't going to like it as much. I like it more now after talking about it than I was. Like I'm like watching it. I'm like, this is very slow.
I thought the first arc was insufferable in terms of pacing, especially with Andor doing literally nothing.
Literally nothing. At least he's not just sitting on a moon. He's almost not in it.
I thought it was much better than the first arc, personally.
Okay. All right. That all? We ready to call it quits?
Yes.
All right. So with that,
I'm hungry.
You can find us on all the social medias at Talkin Tauntauns. Well, all but one, because not going there. You can find us on our website, talkintauntauns.com. You can email us, contact@talkintauntauns.com, or hit the little contact button on the website. You can leave us a 5-star review wherever good, bad, or indifferent podcast reviews are left. But the biggest thing that you could do to help us is to share the show with a friend if you enjoyed listening to us. So that would get the word around that you enjoyed our show and get more people listening. So I think with that, that's all I got, and we will see you next time.